When I talk about a lock, okay, normally bad things happen. I locked up the Pittsburgh Penguins last year going into the playoffs. It was the first time in like 2 decades they lost, like got swept first 4 games out. And I was screaming from every mountaintop that the Pens are a lock. Whenever I locked up the Super Bowl, went the other way. When I get on this pedestal and I start dancing on it, that my brain knows a way for us all to take money from the humans in the desert. History has shown us that it's not always good. But when I say that tide is going to turn this evening, that tide is going to turn this evening. I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know how much you can dance with. But if I were you, I would be taking out Thor's hammer. I would put my hand up and it would go right into my hand. Now, I'm not talking about drunk Thor in the last one. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about back when Thor was ripped and had good hair and that hammer was huge. And whenever he swung it.
Either or. Let it swang.
Is swang a word, by the way? No way.
I don't think so, but it's so popularized in terms of slang that I think people get it.
So it's a little slang to say swang?
Mm-hmm.
When he swang that thing, and that thing hit the ground and just I would take that hammer and I would put it on the New England Patriots minus 16.5 tonight. And it might be at minus 17, by the way, with how hard I wanted this in the first hour. Mm-hmm. They might have changed it strictly because of this show. But to think that Daniel Jones, old Danny Dimes, old Duke face, who had an incredible couple weeks to begin this, and I am a fan of. I like Danny Dimes. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. He's much more athletic than you could ever imagine for being a nerd from Duke who has to be tall and looks like an unathletic kid. He's like a freak athlete almost. Mm-hmm. Incredible quarterback. He was able to inspire something in that team to get them a couple wins. But to think that he will be able to, on a short week with limited preparation, not that he only has a few weeks of preparation to begin with because of how long he's been in the NFL, but now a limited work week, like 2 days worth of work, can go into Foxborough, one of the most notoriously impossible places to win. Impossible. And play against Bill Belichick's mastermind against a rookie quarterback, Tom Brady, who is out Philip Dorsett, who has become quite a weapon for them. But everybody else is going to be playing, from what I'm being told.
What I'm being told as well.
That they're going to play. Even if they don't, to think that Tom Brady is playing and Bill Belichick is coaching, the thought that Danny Dimes can keep that thing within 17 points, I think is a farce. I think that is asking a man for an impossible task. I think this is going to be a big one. When I looked at that and I seen it this morning, I thought that thing should have been near 24, maybe 28. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, can that Giants defense, who beginning of the season stunk, couple weeks did good, last week did bad again, can they flip the switch and stop the greatest quarterback of all time? That's going to be their only hope, that he keeps them, because a quarterback has not thrown a touchdown against the New England Patriots yet this season. That's the first time that has happened since the 1970 merger. I'm not saying they're playing against Aaron Rodgers or anything like that, but to think that on a short week where the offense gets limited time to game plan, will be able to figure out a way to keep up with whatever Tom Brady can do in that offense, who hasn't looked incredible. Second half against Washington, they turned it on. Hasn't looked. To think that old Danny Dimes has a chance to keep it within 17, I think is hilarious. I think that is a hilarious thought, and it's an impossible task, I think. Because going into Foxborough, you're not only taking on their Minutemen or whatever the hell it is, who's got the guns in the back. You're not only taking on the entire town of Foxborough. It's like, never gets talked about. It's like Green Bay. You drive through like homes, and then you make a right down a hill, and then you're like, oh, damn, we're in the stadium now. You're taking on an entire section of the country that goes in there, and they are not sober, and it is insane. And Tom Brady feeds off of it. Some quarterbacks try to keep an even keel. Some quarterbacks don't try to acknowledge it. It's just nameless, faceless opponent. Tom Brady has been a person that feeds off of that energy, runs down, does the whole thing. Watching his new backup quarterbacks figure out how close they should be during that is very fun, where he runs down all the way to the other end and he starts screaming, let's go. That's awesome to see, by the way. But at home, that type of environment just only spurs on the greatest to be even greater. And I just think that minus 16.5 tonight, you take that hammer, since it's baseball season, playoffs, you crow hop even.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Like that, what, Zemansky? Is that
Yeah,
the guy?
oh yeah, Tommy Mansky.
Who?
Tommy Mansky.
You crow hop like old Mansky taught in those DVDs as a child when it was on at 2 a.m. And you take that hammer and you break the earth with that minus 16.5. And we all have a great Friday tomorrow when we wake up with cash in our account.
You compound everything you just said with the fact that Daniel Jones is arguably missing his 4 best playmakers on offense. They might get beat by 50.
And I preface this entire thing with the thought that the last 2 times I have done this, we have gotten smoked.
I think we're all right tonight. This game's got 31-10 written all over it.